Hey guys, it's Britt. Today we're here with a quick little update on Ruby Franke, Paige Franke Jodi Hildebrandt, and we also just heard from somebody else that is more recently has been exposed as being involved in this entire connections ordeal, and that is Paige Hanna. Paige Hanna went ahead and made her own video about the situation, and I had quite a few thoughts about everything as always, so if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright, you guys, so super long day here. I am a bit tired. You know, obviously I'm not wearing any makeup. It's been just a bit of a day. It's getting warmer outside and I just don't really care at this point. But we are here to talk about something I do care about, and that is the entire 8 passengers debacle. I shouldn't even say debacle. That's greatly discounting it. I should say the devastating situation that is 8 passengers. So first, let's talk about this video from Paige Hanna. It comes from a channel called Under the Rug. It has 211 subscribers. The video title is The First. The description box says, "This video is an introduction to my involvement within the Connections program and my relationship with Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrandt, which both ended in May-June 2021. When I stated I was a colleague of Jodi's in the video, I meant to say I served on the board of her business. In this video, I explained my initial understanding of the program and the origin of the concepts of truth and distortion. The purpose of explaining these things is to allow more clarity for future explanations of how unfit Jodi Hildebrandt is, and how she manipulated Ruby into creating their own form of religion. It will take multiple videos to explain my experiences leading up to cutting ties with Jodi and Ruby." And she lists her email address, and she says in this video that the comments are cut off. Any emails that are sent to this email address that she listed will be screened before she puts her eyes onto them, and the like and dislike is disabled. So here's my thing. If you're here to have a conversation with people and you're not a guilty party, why is it not more of an open forum? Why is it not, I will take comments and I'll go ahead and look at emails. Of course, you know, I understand that there will probably be a lot and that will take some time to get through. But to me, this was very much, and I'm not going to react to it because quite frankly, it's not worth your time. It's not worth my time to watch again. I've already watched it once. It was a word salad of Jodi is at the head of all of this, and the way that she impacted people is bad, obviously. But to me, it came off as lifting some of the blame from Ruby and Kevin and placing more of the responsibility at Jodi's feet, because Jodi is just the most evil. And I do think that Jodi Hildebrandt is without a doubt evil, crazy, wackadoodle, unhinged, all of the things, obviously. However, Kevin and Ruby also threw away and abused their role as parents to children. So I get that there is an origin story and some history and some insight that can be elaborated upon by her. But I don't enjoy and I don't respect the, well, I'm an innocent bystander and Jodi manipulated Ruby into doing a lot of the things that she was doing. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we are not calling Ruby Franke exactly what she is, and that is a child abuser. And that's not even considering the fact that she was the mother to the children that she was abusing alongside Ruby, or alongside Jodi. So I don't like that. I am not taking any of the fire off of Ruby Franke's ass. I don't care what kind of cult, I don't care what kind of business, I don't care what kind of videos you want to put out and make all these elaborate explanations. I don't care. A lot of us saw Ruby for who she was ages ago when they were still uploading onto YouTube. And Kevin sat next to her defending their awful, neglectful, abusive parenting style. The thing that I will say is I can appreciate her making a video, but I always look at timing with things like this. Where was this video after Ruby and Jodi were arrested? Why did this video not come to light until your name was dropped by Kevin? Because I feel like if I wanted to give an explanation and give all these origin stories and word salads and explain what a cult is and explain what manipulation is and coercion and all of this, I think that this video would have come long before my name was entered into the mix by Kevin Franke. Because I want to explain my side. Oh my gosh, these two women were just arrested. There were children hurt. I'm involved in the company. I had ties to these people. Let me go ahead and, put the truth out there. I'm not going to wait until my name is dropped in an interrogation in a police station before I come out with a video. But hey, that's just me. So I can appreciate her telling her story and all of that. That's great. But I also think that the details is what really matters. I think the timing matters. I think the fact that there is just no willingness to have a conversation with anyone who is here to disagree with you, and they're going to say they disagree with you. You just don't even want to see any of that, and that's not a conversation. I understand not wanting to see emails that are bullying or using really extreme language or anything along those lines. I understand filtering some of those, but you should also be willing to have a conversation if you're going to come out with this video. Like, if it's going to be like this, then why is the video even out? Because your name was dropped and your personal image is being questioned now. Everyone's talking about it. Who are the Hannahs? What's going on with the Hannahs? What on earth? Since Kevin name dropped her, nobody talked about them before that. But now we get a response, and now you want to explain, and now you want to say how, I feel so bad for the Franke children. Well, hello. All of this information was out there when these two women were arrested. So it might seem like I'm coming at her a little hard. I don't think that this video came from a truly genuine place, in my opinion, from my perspective, for what that's worth. So of course I'll link it in my description box in case y'all want to watch it. To me, it really wasn't anything that, obviously if I thought that it was that crazy, I would be doing a full reaction. I just don't think it's that crazy. So either way, that's what's going on, and we'll keep an eye on Paige and what other videos she comes out with. But I want to talk about Kevin Franke filing a lawsuit against Jodi Hildebrandt. So this came out yesterday, a little over 24 hours ago, and it's from KUTV. Talked about them a lot. They cover the Frankes. They're a Utah news station. And it says, Ruby Franke's husband, Kevin Franke, has filed a lawsuit against Jodi Hildebrandt, citing emotional distress and negligence for him and his children. Kevin Franke has already filed for guardianship of the 4 children, which includes the 2 that were subject to the investigation around Jodi Hildebrandt's neighborhood in Ivins. Based on the facts and general allegations in the complaint, the 3 causes for action from Franke and his attorney, we know Randy Kester, are intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and negligence. In the first cause of action regarding intentional emotional distress, the complaint alleges, in part, defendant Hildebrandt acted with reckless disregard of the probability of causing emotional distress to Kevin Franke and to each of Kevin Franke's children. Kevin Franke suffered severe and or extreme emotional distress that was caused by the defendant's conduct. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's wrongful actions and omissions, Kevin has suffered past and future economic and non-economic damages, pain and suffering, emotional distress, loss of quality of life, and loss of enjoyment of life. As a part of the second cause of action regarding negligent emotional distress, the complaint alleges that Hildebrandt engaged in conduct that she should have realized involved an unreasonable risk of causing emotional distress to the children, Kevin, and other. In the final cause of action regarding general negligence by Hildebrandt, the complaint alleges, in part, defendant, as detailed in the statement of facts, breached her duty of care and reasonable behavior and conduct. Defendant's breaches of duty negligence caused by Kevin Franke and economic and non-economic damages as may be established upon proof at trial to include pain and suffering, emotional distress, loss of quality of life, and loss of enjoyment of life. Kevin Franke is entitled to interest on all economic damages as may be established in accordance with the statute providing the same. Kevin Franke is seeking judgment on special damages, past, present, and future, along with pain and suffering, losses, and harms, and all other general damages, as well as pre-post judgment interest, costs, and attorney fees. A written statement from Randy Custer, who represents Kevin Franke, on behalf of Kevin, said this lawsuit marks a significant step in our journey towards seeking justice for myself and my children against the abuse inflicted by Ms. Hildebrandt. Ms. Hildebrandt weaponized her authority and professional training to cause tremendous harm and damage to myself, my children, and my family. I'm committed to doing everything I possibly can to ensure that this dangerous woman can never harm another individual again, and to seek the long-term healing and welfare of my children. In this filing, it also does detail some of the wounds that the children had, and obviously all of the egregious things that they went through at the hands of Ruby and Jodi. And so I'll link this down below in case y'all want to read it. I'm not going to rehash that. We've talked about this at length before. But what I want to say about this is, to me, Kevin obviously dropped the ball. He abandoned his responsibility as a father to step in. He went a whole year without seeing his kids. That to me is just an awful position that you intentionally put yourself in. You drop the ball so many different times. Like, think of all the days that are in a full year. 365 days. Not one of those 365 days did Kevin Franke decide to go to Jodi's house, which he knew exactly where she lived, and go knock down the door. And if you needed to get law enforcement involved 2 months after you hadn't seen your kids, or 2 weeks after you hadn't seen your kids, there were just so many opportunities that nothing was done. And I understand that the conversation of brainwashing and manipulation and cults and misleading people, I get all of the other things that people are saying, but for me it just kind of seems like he totally dropped the ball. Even in the interrogation interview, he was saying, I love my wife, I trust my wife, and he, liked Jodi and thought of her as a good person. But now you want to come out and be like, oh, well, it was emotionally distressing to me, and I need economic help, and my kids need economic help. To me, this stinks of, I didn't do what I should have done, but now I'm going to act like I'm going to do what needs to be done, and I'm going to also try to get some money out of this. Because he knows that the years on YouTube where they were making tons of money, all of that is over. They can never return to social media as what they once were. And Jodi has the money, so is this just him trying to look like a stand-up guy that's doing the right thing? I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't subscribe to Kevin Franke, and I don't know in the future if I will ever change my mind on kind of how I feel about him as a father. But I think that he's kind of shown everyone his cards, and he's pretty transparent to me personally. And I don't look at him as the superhero dad that is now legally going after Jodi. I think he's kind of a fraud. Some people might get mad at me for saying that, but it is how I feel. He had 365 days to do something before those kids were literally almost dead. And he didn't, because he trusts his wife, he loves his wife, and he said it himself. So either way, I think that's enough for today. These 8 passengers videos, I try to make them their own video to not mesh other topics within them. But I will have a multi-topic video coming over the weekend and quite a few other things. But I wanted to pop this out for you guys real quick. A lot of people are talking about this, a lot of different opinions. I can't wait to see yours. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.